dog stand. Lightweight, collapsible, and engineered for versatility. This stand is built with laser-cut powder-coated steel frame, tempera aluminum legs, and a durable Duramesh fabric. Weighing just under 8 pounds, it's effortless to carry and set up. With a working load limit of 120 pounds, it attaches to nearly any tree. Available now at rixyoutdoors.com.
I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose won't have it till I'm wounded in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Pass me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was the last. You move slow when I move fast. And that's facts. Only I can change. Slowly take steps. I will never be the same. That's what it takes.
You really need to sell this place. Let's go kill that.
Every hunt tells a story. Make sure yours is unforgettable. Tracking your hunts shouldn't be hard work. Plan your hunts with real-time weather updates. Quickly access past hunts with searchable hunting journal. Track your dog's retrieves and training progress. Easily log and track species during your hunts. Preserve the tradition, capture the memories, and improve every hunt. Elevate your experience with Hunt Proof. Download Hunt Proof today and make every hunt count.
It's time to talk dog vest. Recoil Outdoors dog vest. We use this dog vest all season long. It stood up to the test. Let's talk some features about it. This dog vest is built with industrial grade Velcro for a snug fit around the neck, unlike any competitors. This vest comes with dual rear straps for a snug fit around the waist. This vest allows for a tucked away handle for timber, or an open handle for open water. This vest also comes with covered edges around the neoprene to prevent chafing. Recoil vest also comes with a Cador chest strip that runs the length of the vest to prevent punctures and cuts. This vest comes with 6 different sizes, tailored to fit the smallest organ to the biggest slab. Recoil Outdoors, the only fully adjustable one-piece dog vest on the market. Check them out online.
Winter Productions, content creation company that is here to tell your story, whether it's about the love of your life or capturing the chase of a lifetime. We're here to tell your story.
Rugged, lightweight, comfortable, handcrafted rocket leathers. Made to burn all day and be out all night. RocketLeather.com.
Well. I'm going to hit the record button here on the old board, and we're going to get this party started. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Life Between the Volleys, and this one's going to be fun. We're going to be joined with Pitboss Jeff Coates in just a second, and we're talking some bourbon here. Yeah. Let me see if I can fix focus point. Yeah, there we go. We're talking some Gadwall whiskey. He's got a bottle we sent up there for him to try, and we're gonna talk a little whiskey, little dogs, and probably some hunting. I'm gonna hit him up and tell him we are ready. And bam, we're set up. We're rolling. I'm gonna have to get a little refill here when we get started. So, man, this new board. Oh, here, let me switch over. Bam. There we go. You gotta get the logos rolling. The Dirty Duck Coffee. I have struggled a little bit today. I'm not gonna lie, trying to get all this set up and rolling. But we are almost there. Didn't have a cord plugged in all the way, of course. I kind of fought with it for a little while, looked over, and I was like, that's not plugged in all the way. There's probably a way that I probably could have figured it out and skipped around the board. I don't know, man. I like having the board right here. I like the switcher panel, but I do like the board as well. And I love the Gadwall whiskey. So this is gonna be a fun one. I sent the hunt crew a second ago a message and told them like, hey, what should we ask him? I got a couple fun responses back, so we'll hit him up with those. But I have sent him a message until he joins. Let's talk about something that's going to be going on. He may interrupt us. We're teaming up with Gadwall whiskey right here, and you're going to get a free bottle of bourbon shipped to you. You have to be 21 or over to win. We'll verify that you're 21 or over to win it. And when this podcast comes out, we'll post like a little teaser of it coming out here in a few weeks, and I'll put in that post about the giveaway. Go back, find that post, share it, tag me, tag Pitboss, and tag Gadwall whiskey. Okay, he is ready to roll. Let's hop on over here and give him a jingle. How's it going,
Good
man?
evening.
How you doing?
Wait a second. How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I turned it on. Gotcha. Yep. You want to do horizontal?
Yeah, horizontal works great. Yep.
Cool. Let me put her in the holder here, and we're good to go. Sorry for my slowness.
Oh, you're perfectly fine. I know you're a busy man now with the dogs and summer, and I'm just interrupting that. But
All good.
I do know we got a lot to talk about tonight, just because I love picking your brain when it comes to talking to you about dogs, just because I literally watch your videos all the time. Me and the Hunt Proof guys talk about it, and I've actually they cut my hay and it jumped back pretty quick. But as soon as they cut it again this fall, I'm gonna be out there trying out the Christmas tree drill you were showing the other day.
There you go. That's not my drill, but a good friend of mine shared that. So
yeah, I love that you shared it. That's the thing, dude. That's what's awesome. Like, I mean, you're out there like sharing drills and stuff with people that like a lot of us don't know how to do. I mean, I'm getting no input on it.
yeah, hit record.
Yeah, man. We're going right now. We're up. We're
Okay,
running.
I'm sorry. I'm not telling you what to do, but a lot of times, like some of the best stuff is hey, you want to come on and we start talking and like, hey, I better hit record. Like, man, it was all really great. Just natural.
Yeah.
If you will, organic. Like, we're just sitting here talking. Like, you didn't get all that. Like, no, we didn't get that. So.
No, I've learned to hit record after a few mistakes of not doing that. Yeah, man. How are you liking that? How are you liking it?
We just opened it up, and it's kind of funny that Karen and I did a little a bottle opening, if you will. We're gonna post it up shortly, and we just kind of talked about it as we're opening it up, and I didn't know a whole lot about it. We talked about you a little bit, and I took my first sip, and I was like, Karen, so what am I tasting? I said, I think I taste cherry. She says she didn't get that, and actually she took a little bit of a too big of a hit, I think, and 90 proof got her a little bit. She said, I think I might like a piece of, usually, so I'm rambling, so reel me back in, but this is 90 proof. Crown Black is 90 proof. I like ice with Crown Royal Black. Karen drinks it neat. So I was kind of surprised when she said it was a little, maybe this is, I could not find how long it's been aged. But anyway, long story short, it was a little hot for her. And she said maybe next time, she did drink hers with a little bit of ice in it. But anyway, she started Googling, and cherry she's like, it says cherry, kind of thing. So it was kind of funny. And I said, how much does it cost? She's, I'll take a look. And she says, what was I thinking? I said, I don't know, like $45, $49, something like in that, for $7.50, something like that, and $44.95 or something like that. So it's really good.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing. Like it's kind of like a nice everyday drinker. Like I mean, I ordered a bunch of bottles when I ordered it just because I know it's something that like I can sit around like a Crown and drink.
Thank you. We thanked you on what we did, but thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, like I definitely I wanted you to try it because it's so funny. Like me and another buddy that drinks a lot of bourbon, we talk about like anytime you like pop up a bourbon thing, I'll send it over to him and be like, hey, how about this? And he's like, dude, he's spot on. Like he's a big bourbon drinker. I follow you, a couple other guys, and that's kind of how I've learned more about bourbon. I kind of told him at Gadwall, I was like, man, like this is the guy that like, I mean, I truly believe it is a connoisseur to it. And what the cool thing was, like everyone drinks it different. And that's what I think is cool about it. And that's what's cool about bourbon, period. I think that's so cool. It's kind of like one of those things where everyone can enjoy it together, but everybody does it different.
Agreed. I sat and told Karen, so when I opened it up and I started smelling it, and I was like, man, like what if I didn't know what this was, what would I think? And I have not had some of it in quite a while. But it's something that I don't mean in one sitting drink a 750 of it, but like I could definitely drink the bottle. It's Heaven's Door straight bourbon whiskey. And that's kind of what I was thinking, it's kind of what I was, if I had to guess at something I've had before, it's like, man, I think it's kind of like that is what, kind of where I was going with it. And, but yeah, it tastes very good. Bourbons, I always like to drink them neat just because I really do want to taste it. I don't want it to be watered down. Right.
Yeah.
And honestly, just like Karen said, it was a little hot for her for whatever reason. Like there's some bourbons that I can't drink neat. Like once they get, probably one of my favorites would be Weller Antique. It's at 107, and that's probably my that I would still drink neat. Over that, I'm not going to enjoy it probably.
Yeah, he's got a 115 coming out, and I'm kind of interested on how it's going to taste. Mm-hmm. He's going to be sending me a bottle and stuff. I might get him sending you up a bottle too. It's just one of those things where like, I don't know, like 90, I've kind of hung like so long around that 90 proof, 100 proof range that like, I just don't know what a 115 is going to taste like, but I'm definitely interested because I do a lot of whiskey sours and stuff here at the house and stuff, just simple mixers with it and stuff. But once again, like you said, like this one, I feel like I can drink it neat on the rocks. Don't really need a mixer with it. And it's just kind of, I don't know. It just feels like it flows really well. Like I say, like one of those that you mentioned. Yeah.
I kind of had a little smirk or smile on my face there. We still have a bottle, and I think it's only like 750. What is it? A 325 milliliter bottle of it's Buffalo Trace, White Dog, White Dog it is. Basically, it's mash that has not been aged. I mean, it's crystal clear, like. And I think it's at 135 proof, and like we still haven't opened. We're scared of that.
Oh, that would be, that one would be a little tough.
Yeah,
I did drink a little bit of Green River the other night, and I had a little too much of it. I will sadly admit, but we were doing it sitting around a pool, hanging out with friends, and that'll get you if you just sit around and sip on some bourbon a little too long.
Yep. You talk about sitting around with friends. I did tell Karen, I was like, man, this is a bottle I could drink, like especially in the right setting. Sitting around with the right people and just kind of hanging out, whatever the event would be, kind of a milder event kind of thing. But I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's definitely a good one. And like I was talking about right before you hopped on here, we're gonna do a giveaway with them. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna post up a video. I've already got it recorded. They sent me over a little care package. And if people tag you in it, they'll get an entry. They tag me in it, they get an entry. They tag Gadwall, they get an entry and share it to their story. So you can get 3 simple entries right there. We're just trying to share the love and get the word out there about this. It's just been another good whiskey. It's nothing that like we're trying to say you got to go buy, but don't hate on it, man. It's actually a pretty good whiskey. It's one of those that like it'll
really
catch you off guard. It's good. But man,
not that I'm an expert, but I like it.
Not that you're an expert. I do have a buddy who he sent me a message. I sent him a message in a group chat, and I was like, "Hey, you'll find this funny." I was like, "Hey, like I'm getting to hop on with Pitboss, talk a little waterfowl, bourbons, and dogs." And I was like, what should be a question I should ask him? And you'll love this one. He just got back from Kentucky, and his exact words are, "How many bottles of E.H. Taylor, Blanton's, and or other stuff would it take to get a guided hunt?"
Can he get Weller?
Weller, I don't know, Nick, you got to listen to this and you got to get Weller. Apparently, if you get some Weller, let me know because I'll send some money. Yeah, I told him, I was like, man, I need to get on the list to come up here and hunt because I know you all like you're done pretty early. You're probably booked already for this next year. I'd say pretty well.
We Karen and I just talked about it. First thing, to rewind to the Weller, she, as we sat and did the opening, she does say that, probably just straight up neat bourbon, that Weller would be, I guess, like if you want to call it the poor man's Pappy, because we have bottles of Pappy in there. And I got to say, man, if I had a Pappy 10 or 12 and Weller Antique, and I'm not sure I could really, I'm not sure I could tell the difference, to be honest. Maybe, I guess if I had them both at the same time, which I've never done, but knowing what I know that they taste like, I'm not sure I could really tell the difference. But, so yes, well, she brought up the Weller, and I have 5 days left for this year.
5 days. That's crazy.
And one of those is December 25th. So
yeah, so chances of that one's probably gonna be a little slim.
Yep.
No, that's awesome, man. I'm excited you're already sold out. That means good. That means business good, and I mean that's what I want. I want business good for you because that means we're gonna get more. We're gonna get more content out of you, more bourbons, more dog training. So we get the 60 days of duck season on Instagram. I love those freaking stories like that. People need to go follow just for the 60 days of duck season. It's worth it.
I used to, thank you. I appreciate that. I used to just do it in stories. And then I was like, man, if I'm making the effort to do this, so I'm going to start, post it as a reel. And then I share it on stories. But originally when I first started doing it, it was just in my stories. That's, I just I didn't really have, I just did it in stories. And that was probably, we were at the old house. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know, 6 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe longer. I don't know. I had to go back and look. But anyway, that's how it started. I really just did it in the stories and not really as a reel.
Yeah, I mean okay, let's look at not technology, how social media has changed, how different that'd have been if you'd have been like, oh man, I should have been posting these as reels 6-7 years. I mean, it's a butt kick when I hate when I see like someone's age and they're like doing like YouTube or something hunting and they're like 5 years younger than me and I'm like, I hate you. I was on YouTube before you. I just didn't know what it was. We all thought it was just this dumb thing that was this stupid platform out there. And now,
I think if you Google it, I think, man, it's like got to be number 2 or number 3 search engine out there.
Yeah, I mean, it is insane. Let's jump real quick because I can't get these off my mind. I went to a buddy's house the other day, and Jeremy, if you listen to this podcast, sorry, your ribs were good, but man, those ribs you cooked the other night, they were cut up, they were like sliced up and stuff. Those look delicious. Now,
thank you.
I just want a little tip because he was like, how did you keep them like juicy with that like effect?
So we will say that was I did no, I'm not throwing Karen under the bus because she can pick out good meat, but those are a set of ribs. It was the first time we'd done 3 racks, and she picked them out. Her sister and brother-in-law were here, they're kind of doing like a world. Karen's from Australia, for those who don't know, so. That's where her sister's from, the Gold Coast. And they were kind of traveling through from New York going to Florida and stopped for a couple of days. That's the 4th time. Definitely 3, if not 4 times we've done party ribs. If you look up party ribs, basically you cut them up, cut each rib individually, and instead we would do kind of the 3-2-1 where you got about 6 hours into it. These things you can pull off in about 2.5 to 245. So you can do them, almost in half the amount of time. We do have to say this last set were maybe not as good as the past 2 times, and I don't know, maybe I tweaked. Well, her thought is we have been bumping the temperature up. We were doing it at like 250-ish. The last 2 times we did them at 275. The prior time 275 they were great. The air temperature was up, plus it was sitting. The grill was sitting in the sun, so maybe hindsight we should have knocked the temperature down a little bit. So everybody ate them and there was none left, so they were good. But like critiquing them, maybe they weren't quite as good as the last 2 sets we've done. But it's doing them in 2 hours. In 2 hours at about like that 250 to 275, and then you're going to wrap them all up. Put all we trying to not do carbs and sugar. Basically, just use butter, and we did find a halfway decent sugar-free barbecue sauce. But if you're doing them up, man, barbecue sauce, you want to put some brown sugar in there, whatever, honey, whatever you like, kind of thing in the pan, and do them for about another half an hour to 45 minutes, and man, they come out great, and you've done them much quicker in time.
Okay, yeah.
Plus they're cut up already, so it's people can grab, 1 rib, 2 ribs, 3 ribs, not kind of go and cut off the rack kind of.
Yeah, not critiquing yours, Jeremy, but I don't know if he listens to this, but he did them in a pan, and they were good, but he did them in a pan, and they were so there, to me, there's I think it's too much juice, and that's kind of where it was for me. I thought it felt like it had a little too much juice on it, and I have not done those. I don't know if they're pork or beef ribs like that. Are they?
These are pork baby backs.
Okay, yeah. So we go every 2 years and buy a resale fair steer. And those ribs, I should actually had a pack set in here because I can't cook them. I don't know how to cook them. They're literally this thick, if you can see, and it's pretty much the thinnest thing of meat in there, and it's a ton of fat, and I cannot get the breakdown on the smoker. Everybody's told me hey, you're gonna have to crock pot them. You can't do it. And I'm like, dude, I want to learn how to smoke these beef rigs, but I'm about to give up. I'm down to my last pack. If I could overnight them to you and be like, here, you try something, I would be like, if they taste good, I'll buy another steer and I'll bring you all of them. I mean, it's one of those things. It's the hardest thing to cook, which we bought a bunch of baby back ribs and stuff to try. We just haven't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually doing this weekend. We're going to do another boil this weekend. Actually, with some friends, we got them coming over. We got some crawfish coming, some shrimp and stuff. We're gonna pull that up this weekend and try that for everybody to try. So it should be interesting.
Very nice.
I've done. I
wish you luck. I know you're gonna have a good time. So enjoy.
Oh yeah, I mean we will. I just opened this bottle. It probably won't make it through that party because I've kind of turned a lot of my friends on to bourbon because I don't drink beer no more. I just don't do it. I don't like it. It doesn't. I've had the Kelsey Brothers Garage beer. It's not bad. I don't know, man. Yeah,
it's good.
I mean and not only just that one. I mean, there's so many of them out there that are so good that it's kind of hard to drink something other than bourbon anymore.
Yeah, kind of my road. I never was younger. Never was a big beer drinker, honestly. Man, it kind of the joke was back in the day, Karen's one of her sons still doesn't believe I've never smoked a cigarette, but I haven't, and barely smoked a cigar kind of thing. But man, I wanted to go play in the NFL, so I was all about trying to be good, nutrition, lift, and all that kind of stuff. And it took me a while. Alcohol just really wasn't really on my radar kind of thing. And then, I've always kind of been on the bigger side of things, and probably would have been maybe 2005, somewhere early 2000s. I did start drinking basically Canadian Club because it seemed like Canadian Clubs everywhere. If you fly, they're going to have Canadian Club, right? So Canadian Club, and then starting to try to do and I'm currently doing it right now. Somewhat successfully, but not doing carbs and sugar, right? So there's no sugar in this, and there's no carbs in this, right? Whereas beer is loaded with carbohydrate. And I just kind of slowly made the switch over to any place I went, Canadian club. And then I went to Crown Royal. So
Yeah, I think that we did a big weight loss thing. The shirt that Gadwall sent me, which is freaking kind of an awesome shirt. It just has a straight Gadwall on it, no words or nothing. Back in the spring, wife was like, "Hey, we're gonna do some weight loss," and I was like, "Okay." She was like, "We're gonna do like this low carb, no carb, basically cottage cheese, some type of like a meat and stuff and cheese." And I'd hate to actually admit this, which I'm glad to admit it now, but like I dropped 35 pounds. Like I was not proud that I was weighing. Like I graduated high school and started college football at like 205, 200, and like I'd gotten myself all the way up to 305. I'm dropped down to 270 now. We're gonna try to ride it out like this for the year, and then next spring it's just gonna be a goal, like every spring, to like let's shed some weight off. I refuse to go see a doctor. She went and seen a doctor and had to do blood work, and now her cholesterol or something's high, and she had like I think like 6 months or something to get that down. Which she's probably not gonna appreciate that I've said this, but she'll get over it. But I was like, she's like, you need to go to a doctor. I was like, no. I was like, well, I want to lose weight first. I want to like beat the math. I was like, I ain't trying to lose this game. I was like, I already know they're going to tell me to lose weight. Why don't I go ahead and lose weight first and then go see them? I mean, that's how I look at it.
We, Karen, maybe it was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. 3 years, let's say 3 years ago. There's an app out there, kind of a program called Noom. Basically, it's just calorie counting, right? You can eat ice cream, you can eat pizza, you just can't eat the whole thing, right? So basically, you're measuring calories. That's really what it is. And we were kind of both, yes, she did it once, and then I think with COVID stopped it. She was being very successful, and COVID she'd got fell off the wagon there with that. So I was like one Saturday, and I think I want to say it was in March. She's like, "Do you want to do this or not?" I was like, "Yeah, let's give it a shot. I'll try it." She said, "Well, if you're going to do this, like you have to be serious about it. You got to measure everything out." Okay. She says, "I'm even talking about Crown Royal. You got to measure this out. Like it's 97 calories a shot. You got to measure shots." Okay. So my best story is, break out the Yeti, fill it full of ice, and I measure out a shot and put it in there, and I'm like looking I don't see anything. Right, so I was like, okay, I'll put a second one in. Like, put a third one in. The third one's still not where I normally would be. But what it taught me was like my proportions were way out of whack because in that Yeti, I just would have went glug 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 glug, basically to the top, right? So I could really see it.
You know, so that line that you try to
teach
reach.
Me that. Yeah. She was more successful. She lost 76 pounds. I did 52, and then March, April, May, all the way to October, we went to PEI, and we're like, what are we going to do? I was like, man, I'm here to enjoy myself. So I was like, it's done. Like they have a brand up there called Humpty Dumpty. It's in Canada. Humpty Dumpty. We love all the Humpty Dumpty products. What would it be like? It'd be like maybe Utz or anybody that makes a party mix party mix kind of stuff. And it is good. They have things called Ringos, which are these little round, I don't know what, corn chip kind of things. But anyway, for a good 3 weeks not 3 weeks, I'm exaggerating, 2+ weeks. We just indulged, and we came home, and we never really got back on board. So anyway, my goal was to be down to 250 by October 1st. So that's where I'm headed.
My goal was 250 by July, and I didn't reach it. I missed it by. I wanted to be like in the 250s. Like it could have been 259, and I'd have called her to win. I didn't get there. Yeah, I mean, maybe I need to join on that board and try to hit another 20 pounds off here. I mean, the thing is, I've lost like all the easy weight. To now trying to lose that like next set of like where you actually got to start putting some effort in.
Yep.
And I mean, and if you cheat one day, man, it just doesn't. Just like it just resets you. It's not fun.
Yep. No, 100%. I agree with you.
No, you mentioned something there, and I want to jump to it eventually. I want to talk Canada eventually, so don't let me forget that. Let's talk a little dog training. You've been traveling a ton, doing a bunch of different trials and stuff, going to a bunch of different trials. How have you kind of like seen how's that been going? We'll just start there.
Well, most recently, Scoter, she's a young dog, and she is a master hunter. Got her title. I should know it exactly, but let's say it was the Keystone Retriever Club up at Rebel Ridge, so it probably was like maybe early June, and So if I want to rewind a second or two, our real goal in the beginning, coming out of winter, was she needed 2 passes to qualify for the Master National. Excuse me, the Master Amateur National that was in Maine. So right out of duck season, we went to Cooper Black, South Carolina, train. She only needed 2 passes. That would be for her title, as well as she needs 4 passes for that Master Amateur. So she got 3 in the fall, and we go down, again, train, try to get on the right track. There was in Pavo, Georgia, on a weekend, there was just a single master. Wednesday, Thursday in Thomasville, which is very close, there was a midweek master. And then in Okeechobee, Florida, which I can't remember how many hours it was, but not that much further to head south, there was a double. So we figured, man, 4 tests, she needs 2. This is gonna happen. And we, after training in South Carolina, we went down to Pavo, got the camper all set up, ate, showered, we're ready to kind of call it quits for the evening. I was like, Karen, what's that blood on the floor right there? Scoter went into heat for the first time.
Oh,
so that kind of shot us. And in the qualifying period, you had to be by March 1st. So, the Master Amateur wasn't going to happen. So we went back up South Carolina. We had trained with Rhett Riddle some. He knew what we were trying to do, and he's like, man, don't worry about it. He's like, just come, go to, it's Giddings, Texas, man, the Master National. Get your title. Get an extra pass. You need 6 in a July to July kind of thing. And again, the ones from last fall would count. So we got her title, and then she was having some struggles, and so a little bit of me handling her as well as her performance. But it took us 3 tests to get her qualified for the Master National. And that's kind of why we did a midweek, a weekend, and then a midweek North Carolina, New York, Finger Lakes, and then back down to North Carolina. We did get her qualified.
Yeah, I mean, I know you were on the road there a bunch. And just to jump back real quick, if anyone's never dealt with a dog that goes in heat, I'm trying to think of how to say this so I don't get in trouble if our wives do listen to this. I don't know what it is, but man, I'll tell a story. My Brandy, I don't know where she's at. I think she's in the bedroom. I would have loved to put her in somebody's hands like yours or someone. I mean, I bought her off a guy. She's registered everything. She's 6'7" now. My buddy tried to get me. He's like, dude, you need to start doing field trials with her. He goes, you've done a lot of the work. She's kind of not as good as she was at one point in time, being kids, young now. I mean, it's just hard to keep her all the way up on her toes and stuff. But I mean, she's still meat dog all night long. I'll take her out and put her against anyone. She is not a fan of she's not going to let you go pick up a bird. She wants to pick them all up. But we were in a hunt, and literally we shot this duck crossing us, and it lands in the decoys. And I send her, and I kind of turn my back. And she's just she goes out there and she's prancing around, a bit all weird. And I'm like, what is this dog doing? And there were some snow goose shells laying on the ground. And I don't know what possessed her to pick up a snow goose shell and start bringing it back. And I was like, what are you doing? I was like, hold up. I'm losing my mind. I'm in the middle of the blind. I'm trying to get out of the blind now. I'm like, I'm going to kill this dog. No, we ain't doing this. Send her back. She piddle farts around, grabs out another one. I'm like, dude, we haven't had a decoy grabbing problem since she was a pup. And I'm like, where's that duck laying? They're in amongst all the shells. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just off. Alone. And then she just kind of did a couple other dumb things on that hunt. And someone goes, is she in heat? And of course, she was coming in the heat. And I don't know what it was, dude. She just possessed the most dumbest moments of her life for no reason. It's very annoying when they do it. But yeah, for some reason, it is hard to get a dog. And that's on a hunting level. I can imagine on a field trial level when you're trying to get them to do long retrieves, ignore poison birds, and do all this other stuff. I wish we had something close enough that I could go run her at, just to kind of, basically, I know we're going to fail at this point, but it'd be cool to watch her fail and kind of see how, because they're not easy. I mean, I know there's you have the poison birds, they can't pat, they got to pick up in order or something. It's it's a very, the lines have to be straight. You can't vary, your line can't vary.
Well, as far as in field trials, the dog that takes the short. How about this? Takes not necessarily the straightest line, but the shortest line, if you will, right? Which in theory that is the straight line, right? That's the field trials. There's going to be a winner, right? So they're judging your dogs, dog against a dog. The hunt test at junior level, senior level, master level, it's your dog against the standard, not
Yeah.
It's not dog against dog, right?
Yeah.
So,
And
basically, the standard would be 70%. 0 to 10, you average out of 7 or 70% throughout the 4 different categories that you're being judged on.
Yeah, and that's where like I haven't spent any time in that, which I want to spend some time in it just because it's a very cool like I don't know scenario. I think there's one kind of out in Ohio, but I don't know much about it. But I do.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead with what you're going to say.
I was going to say AKC. There's quite a bit going on in Ohio as far as hunt test goes and field trials.
Yeah.
HRC I'm not sure about, but definitely AKC. There's quite a bit there.
Yeah, I know there's some breeders kind of in the Lucasville area, which is about 2.5 hours away. I've just not looked. I'm kind of at the point now where I don't know. I have like the yellow dog, which is a better probably handling outside of that. My young pup, she's just trying to figure everything out. And then the older dog, I feel like I'd have to ignore the pup so much to get her in a point to do that like at the end of the day I'd screw myself in the long run trying to like hunt her.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hurt myself hunting wise. That's kind of why we're kind of at the point where the yellow dog I've kind of moved her off over on my parents and
Smash. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I love the look you can give them and they just know instantly they've made the wrong decision. The other night, like my little son had a chicken nugget in his hand, and that oldest dog took a chicken nugget, walked right by him and just took it out of her hand. And like she knew when I snapped at her name, like she was like, "Oh, this is poor decision I've made." I was like, "Oh, you don't do that." I was like, "That isn't." I was like, "I know he feeds you, and I know he's got a habit, and we're trying to break it." My grandpa had a bad habit of whenever she would come up here and stay, she learned to go lay in the kitchen beside of him before he passed away, and he's supposed to be eating X amount of food. Well, he was eating X, and the dogs around him were eating Y, which made up how much he was supposed to be eating. And but yeah, it's definitely something that like I need to work towards. I think with like the next pup I get, which that's a little ways down the road. I got to figure out if this black dog's going to make something, and then we're going to wait till the older dog kind of passes away, and then we'll kind of know where we're going to stand at with another dog and what we're going to do.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It is kind of juggling the dogs. I mean, we have too many dogs probably kind of thing here, but especially with Scoter, the dog that I've been running here most recently. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
I am in the outdoor studio here, but the one that's barking to my right, she's in heat right now, so she's separated from everybody else more or less. But
yeah.
Anyway, long story short, Scoter, like I told Karen, I was like, man, if we're going to do this, we need to make a commitment to train. So do we train 7 days a week? No, but I mean we do put in our time, and like kind of explained to you, man, the place that I go, it's a good hour's drive, each way, and I like to get up there early. So this morning, started at 4:30. To get up in there in time, and then being out in the sun and not whining, but the sun and the heat definitely takes its toll on me. And I get home and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm good, kind of thing. And anyway, I don't mind getting up early, but like I definitely fall asleep early too.
Oh yeah, I would much rather get up early and do something than have to stay up late and try to do it. Like that's like I was telling you, I've been trying to like get up at 30 minutes to 45 minutes early, kind of get all my stuff done and run outside with the dogs and do just simple, basic stuff that we can do that, like, that I know we're going to be doing hunting. And that's my thing. Like, if I can take them hunting and they're not going to ruin a hunt right now, that's all I want. Like I said, I would like to push them at some point in time and do field trials with a dog eventually. But right now with this one I have, it's more of just enjoying them hunting. But you gotta have a dog that'll go out there and do stuff. And that's kind of like what I like about with your drills. Like, like I can take and cut the distance in half, and it should theoretically fit what I am doing to an extent. I do have like, I've got some buddies that'll brag about, like, she does have like a 200-yard retrieve on a goose. And, it was actually probably like a 200 and then like 100 because they started walking out through there because they were like, hey, we're not going to. Which she didn't want to give up the first goose to them because she was like, you're not the right person. She's like, what do you want this bird for? But once she like kind of figured that out and come back, I mean, and the young pup, she's just kind of getting she's just kind of getting used to everything, kind of figuring it all out and stuff. But I've got a buddy I have two buddies that actually have two of the pups, and they are the one I'd like that back. It's one of those that, like, I was like, damn it. It was first pick of the litter, and he was like, well, I've always wanted a chocolate lab. And I was like, well, there's only one chocolate, and she always throws one chocolate, and it seems like the chocolate's always been like one of the best dogs in the group. The first litter, it lives on a yacht, and it spends a lot of time on a yacht over on the bay with some guys that like bought it. They just wanted a dog kind of to have around them, so it kind of gets to hang out on Cumberland Bay most of its time on a yacht, so that's nice for it. But yeah, this that second one, she is a hammer. I posted a few videos. If you go back far enough over, like training with him, just like helping him kind of fix like small, easy things, because it's easy. If they're like, hey, we're having trouble, like they're balking on her brush line. Well, I know that if a dog has enough want to retrieve, that it doesn't want someone else picking up the bird. I mean, you see that. I mean, like they want to be the one to pick it up, and like, I'll be like, come bring him out, and I was like, I can force the older dog through any brush line. So if I'm forcing her through the brush line, those pups standing around her like, nope, we're gonna go through it. We want these retrieves, and it's crazy to sit down and do that. And then you sit there and watch them pups just, I mean, they'll straight head dive through them, and they don't care at that point. They're like, nope, we're not rolling the dice anymore. We're not getting to pick up. They're like, we're gonna do it. But yeah, that's kind of thing. I've been trying to do that a little bit, and then like we talked about the hunt proof thing, which I wanted to touch on also tonight a little bit. Like that, like how have you found it like as useful as it is? I mean, it's pretty in depth tool. I mean, I like it a lot.
Yeah, it really is. And honestly, I'm not like a notepad kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm just not. You know, I have my phone with me all the time, and you know, I love my phone. I love technology, and yeah, it's just nice to have all that right in your hand. I was sitting today, in amongst waiting for dogs to run, talking to some people, and here, hold on, 1 second. I'm sorry. Here, oh, there you go. Scoter has to get up in these chairs, but she kind of waits for me to just put my hand on the back of her head so she can get herself up in here. But I'm sorry. I actually showed. I did a drill. A water blind drill yesterday, and somebody was asking about it, and I just posted up on Instagram the drill and then the actual water blind that I ran, and because I tried to explain it to them, and I was like, well, here's a picture of it, and it's right in my phone, and they're like, oh wow, that's cool, and so it's I love it because I keep all that with me. My phone's always with me, so I've always got all that information with me.
Yeah,
and it's nice too, like a year ago, like where was she at a year ago? What were we doing? And truthfully, I don't use the app to the fullest that I should be using. I don't. I really do like it. That I like to show my setups, and then at the same time, friends, we're in a dog a dog text group that we're always saying, hey, we did this, we did that, and I was like, showed them, well, this is what we did to that kind of thing, but yeah, man, I love that app. I do, and actually. I gave Nathan some tips the other day, or not tips, with some advice that I won't say what it was because if he doesn't use them, that's fine. But just some, how can you make it better? Actually, I think it was probably I listened to your podcast with him. I think it was on some podcast. I was sitting painting decoys, and I'm listening, and a couple of things popped in my mind that, hey, if you could add this and you could add that, it would just kind of take it to the next level. It's after he added like what was the mark? Was it a winger, a launcher, a field trial, retired, a white coat, a retired gun, a flyer? Like, man, if you're going to put those kind of notes, here's a whole bunch of other notes you can, poison bird, you can put up, you can do some other things. So we'll see if it pops up in there. But yeah, I mean, it's a great app.
I think Poison Bird is in there now. I think Poison Bird is in there now.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so that's the drop down. Poison Bird was one of the options, and I was just like, hey, there's a couple other terminologies. I just kind of typed them out real quick, and like, if you could add this stuff in there, it would be. When I sent that screenshot to somebody, I wouldn't have to give a description of what we did because it really would. They sit there, and if they really read it, like, okay, it was a walk up, there was an honor, you got a diversion shot, you got a diversion bird. Just kind of like a notes area kind of thing that on that screen, the screenshot that when I especially at a hunt test, hey, good luck this weekend, and somebody checks in mid Saturday morning, like, how's it going? And we've usually run, but I kind of have them give them type out the breakdown, and then what it really was, and then by the way, here's the picture of it. But not that I'm lazy on that, but like if some of that stuff was in there, boom, I don't have to even really say anything, because they're gonna, if they know a hunt test, they're gonna say, okay, it was a walk up and there was an honor. It's already self-explanatory.
Yeah, and I think that's what that app is going to be. Ideally, that's what that app's going to do, because that's what it's meant to do. It's they open up a can of worms with that thing that, like, I mean, it's going to take a while till it's 100% fully there. I mean, not that they're not getting it there. I'm not saying that at all, because they are getting it there. I mean, they are taking it to a new level with everything. It's just one of those things, like you said, like there's just so much terminology that like I didn't know that I had to grab. And my one battery died on my one camera.
I was gonna say, is that me or that is you?
No, that is me.
That's all right.
Wait
It's all good.
1 second, and I will. Is my wife inside? Actually, here I can throw up this camera. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I got a battery right there. Let me throw a battery in real quick.
Take your time.
There we go. Should be back. Should be good.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, I didn't check that battery, but I know the one that I just put in was fully charged. That's one thing I wish, like, there was a way with this system I could see my battery powers. But I don't know. It's gotten so complicated now. I need to quit buying technology. I became too much of a. I don't know. I guess like I love the media side so much. I get so sucked into it that I have a habit of buying and trading for stuff. And I talked with a photographer the other night, and you never get what you paid originally. So it's kind of like the worst. It's like driving a car or a boat, man. You move it 5 feet, and you done lost every dime that's in it.
Like I say, as soon as it comes off the lot, right?
Yeah, there's only two. I mean, I guess there's only technically going to be 2 boats that I've ever made out well on. And it was the first one I bought before COVID, sold it after COVID, and the prices of everything went so high. I was able to sell it for everything I had in it, which was nice. And it was still a heck of a deal for the person that bought it. And that one ended up in like New York, I think. And then this last one I bought, my brother-in-law and father-in-law are buying it for payoff. So I'm getting at least payoff on it, but I'm losing everything I put into it. So, which was a little bit more than what my wife would probably appreciate that I've paid for that boat. So, oh well. I told her this is the last one. We'll see if it's true. We'll see if it's true or not. I have a 2-year boat limit, so if it makes it through year 3, I'll be like, see, it's staying. No, she's got some items. She's wanting honeydew. She's wanting done around the house that I've kind of got to start saving up for and stuff. A pool and stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, getting back on topic, I think the app is really doing like something pretty awesome. Like someone asked me there, like my brother-in-law, I was talking to him, and he was like, I think I'm gonna get a notebook and track our hunts this year. And I'm like, why? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, get the Hunt Proof app. Well, I don't really want to pay for it. I was like, so you're gonna buy a notepad that you're not gonna use? I mean, like you just like, I mean, honestly, no one writes anything down. I'd say the percentage of guys that actually follow through writing all their notes down, or at least continue to do it now. They might have did it a long time ago, but now that they have phones and stuff, they're not doing it as much. You get distracted so easily. It's so easy not to do it.
100%.
And I mean I mean, like you said, like I love the dog training side of it. And they got some stuff coming out, and it's pretty awesome. I gave him some input on the turkey side, and it was like simple things that like it'd be cool if I could record a turkey being killed, but me not being the person that killed it, but I was there like calling it in. Because to me, it's a little different than waterfowl. Like waterfowl, like I'm just logging everything that was killed there on the hunt. Like I really don't want that separated out. It's just easier if I log everything that was killed on the hunt. Like all, you know what I mean? Like We're not party hunting. Let me say that in case I do get in trouble by a DNR officer, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
Speaking of DNR, we'll jump over on this because my mind's gonna ramble. I'm on number 3 of bourbon, so we'll see how many rabbits I chase here tonight on you. What have you guys seen? Because I assume your regs have come out for this next season, right? Or are you all still waiting on regs?
As far as bag limit goes,
Yeah, bag limits, season dates, and stuff like that. Did that?
yeah, no, we're they kind of really do that more or less now a year in advance.
Okay. So you got okay.
So we're good. I guess the biggest question mark for us is the whole Sunday hunting thing. Maryland does not have Sunday waterfowl hunting, and I just got some emails about it. I know they're having hearings again about it. So I don't, it has not passed. Definitely 1 year it failed, if not 2 years.
That's crazy to me. Which anyway, we dealt with it for a while. Was no Sunday hunting. We dealt with it for a while here.
Yeah, it was just waterfowl hunting. There is Sunday hunting here, but not waterfowl hunting.
Oh, that's so dumb. That's so dumb.
Well, here's part of the pushback is there's not to I don't want to go off on a tangent myself. Let's say there's 23 counties in Baltimore City. So 23 counties plus Baltimore City and Maryland. There's already 3 counties that if there is Sunday hunting, the counties have the option to opt out of Sunday hunting. So if you happen to be in Kent County, which is it's on the Upper Eastern Shores where Molly's Place Sporting Goods is, it's it's a traditional Canada goose, snow goose, duck hunting, diver duck hunting on Chesapeake Bay. They're not going to have Sunday hunting. So those guys, if you lease property, own property in Kent County, and they go to Sunday hunting, you're going to lose 8 days out of your season. Howard County in the west part of the state, which has a big, there's a 75-day 5-bird Canada goose limit. Those guys will lose. Well, they're not going to lose off the dates off their Canada season, but duck hunting, they're going to lose. They're going to lose 5 days. I'm sorry, 8 days in there too. So those are. I'm trying to think who the other county. Maybe it's Baltimore City. Baltimore County. So Baltimore County, they're the ones opt. So that is the 3 counties. And it's not known that maybe some other county, the county that we're in, if they say no Sunday hunting, I'm going to lose 8 days. 8 days of my from guiding because ducks is not going to be. Ducks will not be open, in certain counties, or the counties have the option to opt out. So, sorry.
I don't understand. I just don't get it. Like, how can they? Man, it comes back to I don't understand how they get taking that right. I mean, why are you taking Sunday? Why not another day? You know what I mean? What's God, not to get religious on this podcast, but why is that day the one day you want to attack and take? Because you're relating to church. Church is on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Why don't you just take all of them? I mean, you know what I mean? They don't have a valid reason for doing it. They're just doing it because it's always been that way, and there's no reason to have it that way. And I mean, we fought it for a long time here, and then it once got released, and it was public. It was public land, no hunting on Sunday. Private land, you can hunt on Sunday. Okay, well, that means you had to go find somewhere private to hunt. Well, waterfowl kind of screwed us. It screwed a lot of guys. We were just maybe starting waterfowl hunting. It was maybe our first year. And then we kind of I think year 2, they voted it through, which there was no reason to not have it on Sunday hunting. But I just don't get it. I don't know how to put it. I mean, maybe you can put it in better words. It just doesn't make any sense to just do that. We fought for a long time with our season dates because they had a habit of, they changed them this year, which magically, I won't get into that. But they used to always open up our duck season on October 1st. No matter what day it fell on, let's open it on October 1st. A lot of people's arguments were, okay, you're screwing the working man because if October 1st is a Monday, he's losing all those days. And you're going to run it for 14 days. Why not open it the first Saturday of October, run it till the second Sunday, and then you've at least gave the working man 4 days and a chance to take a day off.
Yep.
And then it was actually kind of nice. They did that, which actually shortens it to 9 days, and then they adjusted our November season, and then ended up we gained 2 days in December, which is crazy. Just by giving the working man his weekends to hunt, you gain 2 days hunting at the end of the year, on the front end of the season at the end of the year. And to me, it was common sense. I mean, you need to be doing these dates for the working man. I feel like, I mean, and like doing this, taking the Sundays away from him. Like my dad grew up on shift works. Like, I mean, like, yeah, he got a lot of weekdays off, but like Sundays was like a day, like a lot of times we could see him and stuff. Like it was like a day I could go hunting with him. But like when we didn't have hunting on Sundays, it kind of like sucked all that out of that for the longest time. So I'm kind of bitter on the whole Sunday thing. I know a lot of guys are for a lot of different reasons, but that for me is it. Like you're taking so much opportunity away from maybe a father and son getting to hunt together that I wouldn't want taken away from me and my son.
Yeah, 100%. That's I've listened to some of the hearings before at the state level, and like kids in sports, and it's just I don't know. And again, you said the working man. I've always said the person works 40 hours. Like how many in Maryland, how many Saturdays are there in the season? They pick up a couple days around the holidays because they can go. But yeah, I mean, if you really had that person, that person's best interest at heart, yeah, why do you not have a Sunday hunting? Virginia borders us on the south. They've had Sunday hunting for I don't know 4 or 5 years. Delaware, this will be their third year. Delaware, borders us, and then Pennsylvania, the governor just signed a bill that doesn't mean that they have to have Sunday hunting, but open the door that if the DEC wanted to have Sunday hunting, that Pennsylvania can have Sunday hunting. So, I think it's inevitable here, but I guess it just depends on how long it takes to do that. Plus, again, the pushback is there's 3 counties that have a very strong population of duck hunters that already say it doesn't matter whether Maryland has Sunday hunting, you're not hunting in our county on Sundays. So that's kind of the biggest thing. I guess if they could get those those counties worked out that they could Sunday hunt, probably it would pass very easily. But because those 3 counties are definitely not going to take advantage of Sunday hunting, that's the big pushback.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, man, like, do you have the right people in the right position that has the interests for the, like the working man, like the 40-hour-a-week guy? Like, I mean, do we have the right guy in the right position? I mean, it's a big topic, like anymore on every podcast. It's a major topic, which we're gonna hit your northern trip soon, because I kind of want to get your input with Canada. I know you go to Canada, and I know it's going to be different. I don't know if it's different for you. It might not be different for you going to Canada, but I know a lot of people are talking how different it's going to be going to Canada with a political background of like how much trouble there is right now with the whole tariff war and all that. Like it might not be affecting your area, but I know some people have said they haven't been met with the same nice attitude that they were met in the past.
Yeah, we go through New Brunswick, and when we go, I'm sorry. So we usually go to PEI, Prince Edward Island, and just a beautiful place. It's in the Maritimes. I guess I'm not the best on my geography, but I'm going to say that the Maritimes would be considered New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island. I said it the other day to somebody. I still don't know that we've run into anybody that was cross on PEI. Just everybody's super friendly. I think the island has about a population of about 175,000 people. And I just don't think we've ever, maybe we're not there at the right time of year we're not really there in tourist season. Maybe tourist season people, they do have some attitudes, but late October into November. And then last year we went up in December. There's just, we just not have, well, really the whole trip. Even across the border sometimes, you might catch somebody, it looks like they got the face on. I guess they're playing their part kind of thing as you come across, but just really have not had a lot of issues. And we text daily with friends from PEI and New Brunswick, and just really still really haven't heard much negative.
And I honestly think it's not. I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as maybe it was a couple months ago, or like in certain areas, like you said, it's all kind of. I think it's going to be region based and worker based and all that. You know what I mean? Like you can go a lot of places and run into some crappy people. Period. It's just became a big topic with hunters in the States because they're all kind of hitting that one area when you get out there towards Saskatchewan and what's the other area out there towards kind of west that they like to go hunt?
Alberta.
Yeah, I've heard it. Yeah, as you look at guys, you get enough crossing there. I mean, I'll be honest, like not every duck hunter is nice. I mean, like it's on it, and not every waterfowl hunter has a great attitude. We'll admit that. I mean, that's the reason why. I don't know if you've seen you probably don't follow like a lot of like hunting politics like I do, but I've seen where Arkansas is enforcing it'll be fun to see how it plays out. It's going to basically be a rule that you can be fined for arguing with someone else. They're going to give you like hunter harassment. It's like class whatever. The highest class gets you like a $3,500 fine and like 180 up to 180 days in jail.
Ooh.
The second class is like 3,000 and like 90 days in jail. I'm telling you right now, I ain't arguing with no one when we go there next January. Like, you can have any spot. I will go sit back in my truck because there's one place I'm scared of, and it is jail. Like, you don't, like, I've got a savings account. I can pay a fine, but by God, I am not going to jail. Like, I will not survive 4 seconds in that place. Like, so, nope. Here you go. You can have the truck.
Yeah, I mean, again, I would say I agree with you on that 100%. But again, like the people that I'm talking with are basically, I think I can speak and paint with the broad brush, but I mean, they're basically very conservative people, right? So they kind of have the same mindset that Karen and I do. So it's kind of they're gun owners and they hunt and just kind of again, like you said, not just because they duck hunt or goose hunt doesn't make them a good person, but generally, typically we and they're our friends anyway, but our kind of our thoughts align with their thoughts. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying it right. I mean, there's definitely politics aside, everyone can have a different political view, but when it comes to hunting, a lot of hunters, like 99% of them are probably all together. They're all the same. You could pull up a table, sit down, put them all in a room. They can chit chat, have a great time, and chit chat with everybody. It's that 1% that can be loud on social media, that can do whatever they want and run their mouth, that draws the attention. It's squeaky wheel gets the grease. I mean, it's been like that forever. But I mean, and that's just that we can wrap it up there with that. I mean, that's just something I wanted to touch base because I just wanted to like your thoughts on that, because I know it's became a big topic on a lot of big podcasts, and like I necessarily don't have a goal to go hunt in Canada. I mean, yeah, I know it's the Mecca, and I watch all your videos that you guys post, and that honestly, where you guys go, I'd rather go there than like kind of like the whole out Alberta and Saskatchewan. Like I don't know. To me, it doesn't draw me in as much. I feel like to an extent, this is probably gonna be hit on. It's like shooting fish in the barrel. Let's be honest. They're fresh off the nest. Like they're so dumb. It just doesn't. I mean, it's a numbers game. Then you hear the numbers they shoot out there. It's pretty crazy.
Good friend of ours, just over the state line, Delaware, to the north of us. Fred West went out with us, or went up a couple years back, maybe 3 years, 4 years before COVID. It would have been the year probably before COVID. He went up. But I really stressed to him, I was like, hey, man, like this is, I want to go to Canada. This is not Western Canada. It's not, PEI looks much like where we live. It's maybe slightly bigger agricultural fields, and it's not as populated, but basically kind of there's lots of woods. There's it looks like where we live, kind of thing. And I guess the bottom, he had a great time, and I say this quite often, that the more the older I get, I really understand that everything is relative. Yes, it was a big bunch of guys. What did we shoot? 50. I think we shot 55. There's been 11 of us. Shot 55 geese one morning. I don't know if you recall the yellow collar or yellow tarsal banded bird. It was from Greenland. Yeah. But that was that morning. And a couple friends were like kind of being embarrassed, saying, "Hey, man, we usually don't hunt this many people," on and on and on. But like Fred said, time out. Like this 55 geese, that I'm going to go home and I can't shoot 55 geese my whole season. The limit was one. It's a 30-day season, one bird. He's like, man, this has been a blast. Like this has been a great time. Like this is the highlight of he still talks about that day. But anyway, long story short, yeah, it's not Western Canada for sure. But we still enjoy going there. Not to talk about numbers, but the goose limit is 5. and you can shoot. This is one that usually gets everybody. Their duck limit is 6, and you can shoot 6 black ducks a day there. So
Yeah, that's something. Not to get on that area of Canada, but the western part of Canada, I do believe they are like a man. I do believe, and like we're gonna get on this and stuff, but like I do believe their regulations are a little out there with like, I mean, shooting 6. I mean, East Coast, this Atlantic Flyway is what it is. I know. I think we have a lot more black ducks than a lot of people think we have. That's just my opinion. Like people like, man, I want to shoot a black duck. And I'm like, dude, we shoot a black duck almost every trip out. Like it's not like they're like to an extent, they're almost like we can shoot them as much as we can shoot a mallard. It feels like, I mean, you want to talk about like struggling, come out here and try to shoot mallards. Like it is not like some areas of this Atlantic Flyway is not easy. But you get up in Canada and you can just like, I've heard guys talk about it. Like if they're brown, like you can shoot 6 brown ducks. Well, hell, you might have just shot 6 hen mallards. I mean, that's a little, I don't know, it's a little extreme to me. And I mean, some guys don't try to shoot green only. I think there's a lot of group of guys out there that try. I know you don't really shoot a lot of mallards and stuff, but they try to shoot a lot of drakes. I do know in your videos when you're out there, you're usually calling out the drake actually, which is pretty impressive because I have lost some arguments about what a bird was, whether I'm like, oh, that was not a wood duck. And they're like, that was a wood duck. And you go over and pick it up. It is a wood duck. I'm like, I thought it had a little more white or something on it. I don't know. Like my eyes aren't that great, guys, I guess. But yeah, I mean, that's the way I look at it. Like, I mean, I think they want to like crack down on us and all our regulations down this way. I'm like, dude, if you start in Canada, then what are we doing? I mean, they get all the birds that kind of, I mean, they kill. I mean, I know the U.S. kills more, but we have more hunters. So mathematically, it's going to work out. If you did our hunters versus our percentage, I feel like we'd be lower.
yeah, I can't remember the PEI license numbers. For some reason, I want to say it's like 1,100 licenses a year. I think, and I could be wrong, but that seems to be a number that I've heard, or it's ballparkish. But yeah, there's just not, I guess relatively speaking, there's just not that many people hunting there, and it's kind of odd. Like they don't really have public hunting necessarily like we would. They don't have wildlife management areas. Basically, how would I put it? I guess if you can get there without trespassing, it would be considered to be public. But it's not like it's a. So they do. I'm going to rewind. They do have public hunting. It's just that there's not like here in Maryland, WMAs, wildlife management areas. They don't have that there. And I can't, like as a non-resident, I do have to hunt with a resident. I just can't go up there and freelance and do whatever I want to do.
Yeah, like that area, which kind of actually makes that area special. Y'all go to, in my opinion, that's kind of like a very. I mean, watching y'all's hunt, they look very intimate, kind of like special, kind of like what we get a hunt back here. It doesn't look like, you know what I mean, like those like Western Canada hunts, which I think kind of makes them look a lot more special and stuff. And I think people need to go look at your social media and watch. You have to go a long ways back now. You post so much, but go back and find those hunts because those stuff you posted a little bit on those because those were actually very, to me, they were very at home because they were very much like what it's like hunting down my way, all the way, kind of like my experiences I've had in Ohio and Kentucky and West Virginia hunting.
Yep. Yeah, man, it's a good time for it's a vacation, if you will. The first year, so it's the only place on the East Coast that I know of that you can consistently go and shoot a Barrow's Goldeneye. So in 2011 was my first time up to the island, and that was my goal. And there's some people there kind of laugh because they're like, "You don't want to shoot black ducks and geese," kind of thing. I was like, "No, I want to shoot Barrow's Goldeneye." And then with Drake's Migration Nation there, probably 2018, 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. That was Karen's first time up, and we weren't there for but a week, and she's like, "Man, the setting with the cottages, the dogs were welcome, and quick little walk, 300 yards. We're on a bay on one side. You walk through the woods 300 yards. She was on the beach, And she's like, I just like to come back here and just hang out, kind of thing. And we do hunt. It's not. It is. Do we hunt? Yes, I would call it a hunting trip because it's just kind of more of a getaway for us. But that's what it's kind of turned into. The only year we've missed here so far would be a COVID year.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm going to be honest. I looked it up the area after we had our first podcast, and it looks like I kind of followed when you went up there, and just kind of looked into the area, and just looking at Google Maps and zooming in, it's a pretty freaking awesome area.
Yep. Just brick. I guess brick red would be the color, but man, the dirt is just as red can be. Seafood's a big industry there. Agriculture is a big industry. Potatoes everywhere. I would say potatoes are probably their biggest agricultural. I'm gonna even say, well, I guess they export them, but anyway, their biggest agricultural. What am I trying to say? Product would be potatoes, and it's just there's fields of potatoes that after they get picked, I guess they were wet, whatever, and they just kind of dumped them as they went, and we go field picking for we go grab potatoes. When we're in December, they were all they'd all been frozen and gone. But yeah, man, late October once the field's picked, it's just kind of like common knowledge that you can go in there and any potatoes are left, you just go pick them up, and it's just a really cool place.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's funny you bring up that golden eye because actually I won't rat out the buddy because honestly I didn't know what it was. We had to look it up. We shot one all the way down here, a hen one, and like we didn't get it mounted. Well, he didn't get it mounted. I didn't shoot it. I was off taking a walk. You know what I mean? Like you go take a walk. Like you're like we ain't seen anything. Like I'm gonna go take a walk. Dog needs to stretch his legs. And like I come back and like I hear him shoot, and then like I kind of walk over where I can see, and he's like on the boat, trolling motor down, like going out picking something up. I come over, I was like, "What did you shoot?" He was like, "I don't." He goes, "Honestly," he goes, "It's a duck. I know it's a duck how it flew." He goes, "But I don't know what kind of duck it is." And we got looking at it. I'm like, "Dude, this thing's rare. You should not have shot this duck here." And it was like an earlier in the year kind of shoot, and I was like, "Man, like you need to get this thing mounted." I know we didn't get it mounted because I haven't seen a picture of it, but yeah. That was kind of cool to see that one get shot.
Yeah, and I mean there are bears that get shot in the East Coast in the Atlantic Flyway for sure. Like Lake Champlain, Vermont. I hear there's number they get shot there occasionally, kind of thing. But I mean there's literally they're with common golden eye on PEI, but there's flocks of them, and you can only shoot one. It's one per person per day. It's one in possession, one a day. And so basically, if you're not gonna get it mounted, it's in your possession. That's you can't shoot another one, kind of thing. But there's a lot of Barrow's golden eye there.
That's very interesting. What do you think? Let's jump over on like duck numbers because I know like they're saying they're all down. What do you think we're going to see this year as far as duck numbers? Like, how do you think your year is going to outlook? Because I know it's kind of hard for you to kind of scout you're diver duck hunting, so it's kind of hard for you to scout and have everything kind of planned out. But what do you think, like you based off numbers you've seen last year, kind of going into this year, how winter was and stuff, like off your knowledge?
Well, I do think the numbers specifically with sea ducks and scoter is really, it's my number one target bird kind of thing. Surf scoter, common scoter. We do see white wings. We do see there's some spots that have better old squall. We do see some lighter occasionally. But day in and day out on the ocean, it's 50-50 mix of surfs and commons. But I will say over the years, this will be my 26th season. Like I still see a good number of them, but I don't see the big numbers of them. So I still see plenty of birds to shoot. It's not like we don't generally we don't struggle to see birds, but definitely it's not the volume, but it's the total number that I think is down. It's because we still see them fly, much like they do, but instead of 75. 100, 150 birds in a group, it's 6, 12, 20 kind of thing. So I mean, there's still plenty flying, just not as big a bunches. And over the years, so when I first started duck hunting, regular ducks was only a 30-day season, 3 birds, but the special sea duck season was 107 days, and you could shoot 7. So it's the sea duck limit the special season was there because they said it was an underutilized resource that they wanted to be utilized. And they would say that the underutilized resource current day, it was being overutilized, and that's why they went from 107-day special season to 60-day special season to now, whenever duck season is open. So I am concerned personally. we've been very fortunate for like 28 years, I think it is, that there's been a 60-day duck season. But again, when I first started in the 80s, it was only 30 days. So if it gets been very liberal season over the 28 years, right? So let's say it's a moderate or a conservative season, it means it's going to be a 45-day season or a 30-day season. And when that happens, there is no special sea duck season. So that's if it went to a 30-day season, I can only shoot sea ducks for 30 days. So I would not be happy about that.
Yeah, it's definitely. I don't know, because like I've debated on this with friends and stuff about like the ducks numbers and stuff, and I don't know. It's definitely, to me, it's kind of weird. I'm trying to think how to word it, because I feel like when we have a good winter push, we can find birds, but if they don't get here, we don't find them. But I do truly believe the resource is being kind of overshot a little bit to an extent. I mean, we're both in the same flyway. They went to a mallard limit of 2 ducks for, what was it, like 2 mallards for like 2 years or something.
Yep.
And then we went right back to 4. I'm like, okay, did we improve anything? And then now there's more pintails. So I'm like, well, crap, I haven't shot my first pintail. Like, I didn't even think they were doing that good. Like, I've seen what pintails I've seen have been kind of far and fetch between. This past year, I did get to see my first widgeon get shot. And I kind of screamed widgeon when it came in, because I was like, what is this dump? We were just hunting a cornfield that these birds found that, like, it's something I learned about birds. Like, we got pounded with snow. We froze up and we got pounded with snow. But there was a field that got cut tall. These birds could tell that had food in it, and they were going to it. Everything else, it was like flat. They couldn't tell it had food in it. There were a couple fields I think they were going to that we didn't necessarily go hunt, because we didn't know. We weren't doing our job to make sure their corn stubble was shown. There was a couple that I don't think we were checking good enough. But this one field, they were hot. And they were hot. It would be on and off. Like, they might not be in it for a day, but then they 2, 3, 500 would get in it the next day. And this bird come in the field, and we're like all sitting there blind. We hadn't seen a bird all day, and I'm like, it's a bird working. What's that bird doing? We're watching it, and it like does these big loops and loops and loops, and works this big like cornfield. I mean, probably 100, 150 acre cornfield, and kind of swings way out in front of us. I'm like, is it going to come in? And it comes in. About the time it breast up, I'd never seen a widgeon before in my life, and I just screamed widgeon, and like the guns went off, and I was like, whoever shot that was freaking awesome. And that's because some of the guys I hunt with, on a fun story real quick, they were on a hunt with a guy who he wanted to shoot a widgeon bad enough that like you're willing to screw over all your buddies bad, and that's what he ended up doing. And the story goes, which has been told by multiple people, even by him, he kind of tells it this way, which he needs to change his version not to make it sound like this. They had about 150 mallards start squaring up on a decoy set with like 8 guys sitting on it in layouts, and they start squaring up to come in and land. And I guess like they're just like kind of tornading in a little bit, and up high there's a bunch. And I don't know how he picked out a widgeon that was kind of 80 yards up, kind of still out in front of everybody, and he solo shoots 1 shell at him. I mean, doesn't even run his gun to the plug. At that point, if you're going to pull the trigger once, you might as well run it to the plug, because you've already screwed the pooch. And I guess they were at like 50 yards starting to sit down, and they were just going to filter in when he pulled the trigger on like that widgeon. And I guess it's still kind of sour. I love bringing it up, because it's kind of one of those things that, like, if I'm catching shit in the duck blind, I can bring that up and direct all comments to that guy. But yeah, it's definitely one of those, like, it's a bird that I want to shoot eventually. But like, yeah, like I've never really seen a widgeon or a pintail, and for pintail numbers to go up kind of was a surprise to me in our area. I don't know what you do. You all, well, you don't hunt much. Do you all see? Okay, I do have this question. Do you all see much widgeon out on the river, out on the ocean?
Widgeon, no. Early season, when it was 107 days, the majority of the puddle ducks we saw were teal, actually.
Okay.
They kind of synced up wing beats, speed, whatever with Scoter. You see a lot of teal flying with Scoter. But I mean, they're migrating south, so you can see a little bit of everything out there, really. But I would say Maryland doesn't necessarily have great duck numbers. but it's got a big variety of birds. So there are a lot of widgeon that do get shot here in Maryland. But again, like it just depends. I would say maybe we don't have the best duck numbers, but I think especially on public property, but you get a there's a chance to get a wide variety of birds here.
Yeah, I had to ask about the widgeon. That's kind of where I went. I went on a long rabbit tail there because I've seen videos where widgeon like to steal. They call them like the fat chicks because they'll set out and steal basically food from diver ducks coming up and stuff. So like it was one of those that like I didn't know if y'all got to see them. I know y'all don't shoot much redheads and canvasback out there. Like to me, I would think, but like I also don't understand sea ducks that well. That's kind of why I enjoy talking to you.
Okay. Well, definitely, sea ducks are saltwater birds, right? Really, canvasbacks and redheads are not really saltwater birds. To me, I would classify them more as a freshwater bird, right? And Donald Hughes, that he's passed away now, but older fellow gentleman that was older than me, obviously, but well, it's not obvious, I guess, but he was. He referred to canvasbacks, bluebills, and blackheads as being bluebills as being river ducks. Not diving ducks. He'd call them river ducks because they'd be, maybe they'd roost out on the bay overnight, but they'd be up in the rivers more in the freshwater areas. The further you go up some of these big rivers, it's the salinity is much less, so it's very very fresh water. So much so, like you'll have largemouth bass kind of thing, not which to me are freshwater fish, not really a saltwater fish, right? So on these upper reaches of these rivers, and when I say upper reaches, I mean it's still maybe a mile across. I mean you with that, if you didn't look at a chart or a map, you might not really think you're on a river, but you're on a river. But I'm rambling. We on the saltwater, do we see redheads? I would tell you that on saltwater, you're going to see greater bluebills and redheads more than lesser bluebill and canvasbacks, and bufflehead. Bufflehead, to me, not that they're sea ducks, by definition, but you definitely see them on saltwater. They don't mind the saltwater.
Okay, yeah. I do know New York gets a lot of buffleheads and stuff up there on that bay and stuff. Well, oh yeah, that's very interesting because honestly I didn't know there was a difference in a greater in those.
Yeah, there's just a little bit larger. You look at their wings, because this kind of the argument all the time with a lesser, I should know what part of the wing it is, but basically from the elbow out, if you will, is it white or is it light? And there's sometimes people say, "Oh, that's white." Well, when you get a greater, they're all white. They're lessers. The inner is very very white, and then it kind of gets lighter. Whereas a greater, all those feathers are going to be white in their wing. And once you've held one, like I would tell you, greater bluebill, man, they're like their bodies are scoter sized. They're actually greater bluebill are bigger birds.
Okay, yeah.
I mean that's I guess that's they're considered to be greater, not lesser, but
yeah,
but they are a large body bird.
I don't know. It's just something I never thought of. Fun fact there.
I think I was trying to think of the word the coverts on their wings. That's the feather that I was referring to. That's white. Pretty sure covert.
Yeah, once again I waterfowl hunt, but I'm very bad at bird anatomy. Real quick, and then we'll kind of wrap up. We'll throw over to some dog stuff, and then kind of end on some guidance stuff. What have you seen? Because I've kind of got off a little bit on the political road of it, but like with the East Coast having that how did they word it? The mallard it's not a wild mallard. I haven't seen much of that anymore. Like I haven't seen much data on that lately, but I do believe that is like I've seen videos from like I think it's called. I'm not calling this place out because it really honestly doesn't bother me to an extent. The M&M place that's somewhere
New Jersey.
Thank you.
Yep.
Like I knew someone that was there and they showed me a ton of video. They sent me a ton of video and photos of just ducks sitting around. What is your thought on that whole like the intermixing of wild and tame mallards kind of a thing? I mean,
what's my thought? Like, is it good or bad? I'm stuttering. I have duck bands in the late '80s that it says this is your Maryland duck stamp at work. The state of Maryland released mallards so there'd be more birds to shoot, for more people to shoot. In Maryland, we have, I can't speak for Delaware. I'm sure that they do it in Delaware. I don't know. It's regulated, but definitely in Maryland, a regulated shooting area, an RSA, where you can freely release these birds as long as it has they used to make you put a band on it, but as long as it has a clipped toe, depends on how your property's set up. But during duck season, those are not wild ducks, so you can shoot as many of those as you want. So there are some clubs that RSAs that release ducks, and they'll say, hey, we have a 5-bird limit, just like the regular, 6-bird limit. Regular ducks limit 6. You can shoot 6 of them. I mean, you could shoot 66 of them, kind of thing. But it's kind of it's guaranteed shooting. And again, like if you want to talk about again, the average working man or somebody has very limited time to go. If they want to go, say they shot their limit, these are the places to go. So I can't. I don't know. I don't think they fly. They're flying, and they fly like wild birds. And whether they're wild or how about this? The ones that they release and escape, they breed and they make more ducks, right? So, and I think that's probably Maryland's original intent, not with the RSAs, but with the duck your duck stamp at work money. I think was probably some of their intention of just to try to make the duck population better. And again, in the 80s, it was a 30-day season, 3-bird limit. So there it was a short period of time, and there were not many ducks around. So I can't remember where in the mid 90s. I don't know. I'll guess 95 or so. But if you want to go Google it, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, they actually called out its own. What's the word I want to look for? Anyway, basically they made a new distinction of mallard. And there is an eastern mallard, and basically it's kind of, you want to call it not wild genetics or tame genetics or whatever however you want to phrase that up and classify that. U.S. Fish and Wildlife recognize it as there's a species of mallard that are in the Atlantic Flyway that are considered to be the eastern mallard. So, a good friend Jeff Wood on PEI, he bans a lot of ducks, and they're always doing some DNA on them, DNA testing on them and all. And I think, like, if you want to say what a true black duck is, there's quite a bit of genetically quite a bit of mallard in them. I'm all over the place with this, but if you want to go like to the Upper Bay, the Havre de Grace area, and the old gun clubs up there, talking about writing into record books, they didn't refer to that a mallard. They referred to them as black mallards, which were black ducks. So there's somewhere in there, the old decoy carvers were carving and painting black ducks. They weren't making many mallards, and maybe like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, kind of switch over. They still made black ducks, but all of a sudden they're making mallard decoys too. So that was probably convoluted there, because the eastern mallard, yes, there is an eastern mallard. U.S. Fish and Wildlife calls it out that. And you asked my opinion on what my thoughts were. It makes more ducks, and I guess I don't have much issue with it, I guess.
I agree with you. So that's a very probably non-popular topic, because they're like, oh, well, they don't breed as well, blah, blah, blah. And I was trying to search what I was doing on my phone there. I was trying to search the different ones, because I swear my brother-in-law told me about his buddy did the DNA test out in Wyoming, and he shot something that wasn't a true mallard. Because he's all time chirping at my brother-in-law, like, oh, you guys out there shooting those farm ducks, those farm mallards, just that chirp you do in the group chat with your boys and stuff. And it's funny because, there's some straight killers. There are some straight killers out there. Like, that's a hunt I want to go on, is in Wyoming, small water. My brother-in-law goes about every 2 years, and they'll go for 5 days, and they'll probably have 2 to 3 days that they hammer them. They have 2 days they struggle, but usually by day, a 3, 4, and 5 day, dude, they'll hammer on them, and it's amazing what they kill. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, well, what like, other than like, you're like, oh, they're bad at raising offspring. Okay, What if they raise one or two? That's still one or two that wouldn't have got raised if that duck wasn't released. So what you're telling me now, like the issue I would have with it is like I seen like the whitetail deer around us, and this is probably not a big fan of a lot of people, and I don't know if people say this, and there might be research on this. This is just me talking my opinion. I see a lot of does not with babies, and I don't think their babies were ate by a fox or blah, 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 or a coyote or something like that. I think they just didn't get bred. I think to an extent we kind of have more girl deer than boy deer, more does than bucks, more hens than gobblers and turkeys. Now, I don't think that's the case in ducks, personally. I don't. I think in ducks you probably do fairly good. I mean, I made a mistake one time, and I was very bad for a year at shooting the first couple ducks that come in, and then I learned that, hey, if you wait a sec, the drakes are usually kind of a little farther back. You might have one drake come in early, but if you have like 4 or 5 ducks up there, one drake might come, 2 drakes, but there'll be like a hen in the middle, and then there'll be some drakes behind her because they're still chasing her. That's just something that's just learning as a waterfowl hunter, I think. But I'm rambling. But I think I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a topic that I don't really have anyone to discuss with on the East Coast, and I think not that you're an expert on this, but I feel like you have the respect, 26 years in the waterfowl industry, to say some stuff that can hold some weight to it, I think.
Well, thank you. Again, like people want to shoot birds. I get it, man. Like, and if that's if they're members of a club, they can get out on 4 or 5 good hunts out of the 60 days, and they want to have. Again, you can never say guaranteed, but they want to up their chances, their odds of having successful days. There's lots of places like that around. Go off a little tangent. On Monday, we shot flyers. I know I was throwing them. Anyway, I know 3 of them got away. So there were 3 hens, mallard, that, kind of stayed on the farm. The farm's got a lot of water on it. The place we train, he calls it a quit, maybe October 1st. Anyway, somewhere he kind of calls it off that no more dog training. I know last year he brought 300 ducks in because he wants his grandkids to come and have a good time and be able to shoot ducks. So, a lot of stuff's relative, man. Like what you have and what you don't have, what you've done and what you haven't done. The guy wants his grandkids to have, good young waterfowl memories. Yeah, they're tame birds, but he releases them and they're flying around, and they in the air. You can't tell it's a duck flying, right? But chances are on his property, the majority of his birds, mallard, are going to be somewhat on the farm raised, the tame side, whatever words you want to use to put it on there. I can tell you this: in the spring, there's a lot of teal on his property, so there's wild birds there too. Right across the way here, not that this has anything to do with mallard, but my neighbor, his front little pond, he has 3 wood duck boxes. It's a heavy wood duck area too, so that's the place where we dog train. There's going to be wood ducks there. There's Canada geese there. I guess if I'm going to ramble, but like if somebody's going to take somebody to task about shooting farm mallard or non-quote non-wild ducks, how many geese are sitting on his pond up there? They're not, they don't fly to Canada. They're there pretty much all year long.
No.
And there's a lot of resident geese here, right? So, I mean, the person that says, going to look down on somebody about the type of mallard they're shooting, well, do they shoot early geese? Because I mean, those birds, those all hanging out at Walmart. You know what I mean? The Walmart stormwater management pond kind of thing all year long. So I guess again, it's just kind of your perspective, and again, like it's all relative, I think.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the hammer there with the geese thing. I hadn't even thought of bringing that up, but man, like it is like the Canadian. I mean, early season Canadian geese are your local geese. I mean, I heard rumors. I'll say it is rumor. I don't know who told it to me. I don't have to tell anybody who told it to me. That they gassed, I think, like 60, not far from me, because they won't leave a park. They took them away. They like caught them and hauled them off. when they got their flight feathers back, they brought like 60 buddies with them when they came back. And they're like, shit, like this was not our game plan.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think they said like, I've drove by that place and there's nothing there. There's ducks there. And the ducks that are there are a mix between tame and wild ducks. And I can tell you that because there's tame ducks on that pond, tame mallards that were on that pond. And there's wild ducks that have learned that, hey, this pond, I don't get shot at. I can hang out right here. It's about like a 10, 15, 20 acre pond. And they can just hang out on it. And they're like, don't get shot. They hang out there 24/7. Someone was like, I went by that pond. It's full of ducks. I'm like, yeah. They've learned, the mallards have learned they can live there. You literally pull up in your car. Someone feeds them. Because they'll come walking right up to you. I've had my dog in the car and she's scratching the door like, let me out. And I'm like, well, I guess I could get some tame ducks to bring home real quick. I mean, but it's crazy because Canadian, like when they did that Canadian thing, like me and a buddy made a comment. I was like, dude, I'd like to know where they got rid of them at. And he's like, why? I was like, well, I know like 30% of them was banded, if not more. I was like, I just like to have the bands just to record the bands. Because like they didn't. I was like, just to know, like, hey, this is what happened to this bird. Like, let's get some data. Like, a lot of them were, like, you shoot a band early season, 95% of the people know where they're from. I have been lucky and shot 2 duck bands. I've shot 2 duck bands. I've been a part of 3 more, which I feel like is rare and lucky. I felt bad on the one. Nick, y'all were there. I didn't shoot at the hen because I refused to shoot at a hen. I tried to do a good job and not shoot at the hen. A drake and hen come in. The one time I don't shoot at a stupid hen, she's banded. And I was pissed as ever. To be honest, in that group, I was pissed that I was trying to decide how we could evenly distribute it. But it's one of those where like too many guys shot at it, which shell killed it, blah, blah, blah. I picked up a band late in the year. It's actually on the desktop back screen on my computer. My one dog holding it. And it was dead right. They were like, everybody was like, I kept telling them, I was like, hey, there's a bird back here to the left. And they're like, no, there's not. I'm like, yeah, there is. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, I shot it. I was like, I didn't shoot the ones y'all were shooting at. I didn't shoot the ones in decoys. I did it 2 or 3 times last year. We'd have enough come in that I'm like, okay, guns pop up. They're killing those. Why point my gun and shoot at something ahead of me when, you know, what's 20 yards above us is getting boogered anyways. I might as well shoot at those. And, you know, turns out one got away. It fell on ice. I couldn't get Brandy up on the ice. And I didn't have Brandy. And we were trying to figure out how to break the ice and go get to it. And it, of course, like a duck does, it laid there for 5 seconds and somehow got its wings back. But the second one comes in, it's banded. And I was like, when I told him it was banded, I was like, the look on my face was like, crap, this is not my place to hunt. This is a lease place. I was like, I'm about to have to give this band up. They let me keep it. Thank you, Harrison. Thank you, Brandon. It's my second band. It kind of makes Will, I'm sorry still, my one buddy, like he's been hunting way longer than me and he's like dying to get a band. I don't even know if he's got a goose band really yet. And I'm like, I feel bad because about every other goose you shoot's banded here. It's kind of one of those things. I mean, it's crazy, but rambling. I mean, I think the data's there showing you that even if it's farm, it's doing something good. It's got to be. I don't care. Like I don't know. I feel biased towards some of the stuff about the whole. It's not doing that good of a job because it doesn't raise as many. Well, at least it's getting bred. We have too many birds not getting bred. I feel like to an extent.
Well, again, oops, sorry. Yeah, I mean, again, I really don't have any issue with RSAs, you know, release birds. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't either. It's one of those things where it's like, I've had buddies send me pictures and I'm like, hey, I just want them to train with. I'm trying to figure out how to get some to train with. I haven't figured that out yet.
Well, especially back in the day, really when I say back in the day, not that long ago, but to be a true RSA bird, for your own birds, you had to you're supposed to put your own bands on them. So, you know, federal ban, no, but it was still pretty cool because it'd be, There was some funny sayings on them, or kind of said where the farm was, and so you kind of had a good idea, how far they, where they were released and where you shot them, and it still made. I think it still make they make for a good day. So
Yeah, and speaking of bands, I'll tell this story real quick. I don't think I've got to text it to you. I don't have the photo. The guys posted it not far from us. We kind of wrapped up season last year here, and this I don't know if this will. I mean, it's not normal, but they were guys that, man, the bands popped off late here. I know we killed the one hen. I killed the drake. I know of another one that was killed, and then there was a field that picked up the last day of season and picked up 3 bands, and one was banded with a radio backpack.
nice.
And I'm only mad that I have not seen the data on the backpack, because I just kind of want to know, like, where'd that hen come from? I think it was a hen or a black duck. It was something like that. I'm like, I know it come Canadian down, but let's see something on it. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, but once again, like, yeah, none of those were. I think if you look at some of the data, because I know people weren't getting. I know some people around us got them tested. Nothing really was coming back 100% mallard. I'm like, well, then who cares? Like, it just shows that, like, the farm, like, as we're killing all these birds, the farm ducks apparently are doing more good than they're doing bad. And I don't know. It seems like people, like, biologists want to disagree with that, but I don't know.
Again, mid 90s or so, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, classified them as the eastern mallard.
Yeah, and I wish I could find something on my phone that has all the other ones, but I can't. Let's kind of jump over real quick. What's the plans kind of here coming up for Scooter on the dog training side? I mean, you got 4 months kind of left till y'all start hunting.
It feels really good. She's right here, like I said, beside me in the chair. Just feels really good. I was just telling Karen, before we jumped on here, it just felt good to get a week's training in that I don't, like, almost like there's no pressure on me. I'm not pressured to go anywhere. I don't feel like I got to do this or got to do that. I want to go train. So we're just going to train, just try to fix some weaknesses in her game. I'll definitely strengthen her obedience. Just work on that. Next year, we need 2 passes, CKC, to be eligible to enter their Master National. It's going to be in August in Ontario next year, so that's kind of a goal of ours. We were going to do a little bit of a road trip mid August. Plans have changed, but we're going to do a quick road, not quick, probably pushing 3 weeks. Head upstate New York, train. Jump into Canada, stop by our friends in New Brunswick, Matt Wilson, train with him for a day. He was headed to PEI, and we're going to enter. They have a double, I can't say a double master, it is, but their master tests, they may only have 15 dogs, so they can actually do a complete master test on Saturday and then a complete master test on Sunday. Whereas the test I've been doing recently, there's 66 dog capped field, and there's a waiting list quite often. So those, our masters are definitely going to be 2 days. But we need, long story short, we'd like to go runner in the Canadian Master National next year. Again, just because a lot of friends that we have are going to come over and run it from the Maritimes to come over to Ontario. So that's a goal. I don't know that we're going to go to Texas I probably are not going to go to Texas in October for the Master National. We kind of just think if we go there, we want to pass. I almost say win, but we want to win. And I'm not sure she could do 6 series at the moment to the standard that they would be. And it's more from her obedience than anything else. Marking she can do, marking and blind she can do, but some of the obedience stuff, depending on who the judges are, kind of would frown upon it. She's a little bit on the loose side on the walk-ups, and she doesn't break, knock on wood. But, she may take a couple steps kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, just train. With sea ducks and sharks in the ocean and stuff, I don't use a dog anymore, so she's not going to get used there. And if we don't go to Texas in October, we're going to go to PEI, or actually kind of break up the trip a little bit, but do Canada. So it'd be cool to get her some retrieves there. She retrieved some birds last year in December. But yeah, just train her, get her up to speed, and as soon as February is here, probably the second week of February, run back down to Cooper Black, South Carolina, and just kick them all back into gear and train.
So I'm gonna ask. I don't know if you're ready to answer this question or not, but I think maybe possibly.
I could pour another drink, and maybe I will.
Do you have plans? And I'm asking this kind of like it's kind of unfair on a mic. Do you have plans to kind of breed her eventually, or
yeah, 100%. Get her. She's a master hunter. I definitely want to at least get her qualified all age. In field trials, I wouldn't mind if she was an amateur field champion. That'd be great too. I don't know, that may be asking too much, but to get a couple all age points, that would be all age points would be that she placed in a field trial, meaning that first place is 5 points, second place is 3 points, third place is 1, and fourth place is a half of a point. So, and you need a win and 15 points to be an amateur field champion. You would need a win and 10 points to be a field champion. But definitely get a point or two on her, that would be really cool. And a puppy we did a breeding of the puppy Elmer T. Lee, straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey. He probably a master hunter would be his top level, but I think it would be a cool breeding to do. Both dogs that we own, definitely nice master hunters. Both of them would be. And again, probably she has a little more upside maybe than he does, just timing and the amount of time that I put in her. But anyway, yeah, definitely like to breed her down the road somewhere.
Yeah, so asking that question, I mean, I think my oldest one's 7. Oh, this is about something bad. How many years have I been married? 7 or 8 years. I don't know. My father-in-law messed it up the other day, so I'll take a pass on it because I argued it pretty hard. But she was born 2 days before we got married. She's down the road a little bit. It's kind of one of those things I talked about, like her one yellow pup that was kind of early. It's definitely like I've thought about it. And I talked to the wife, like you're one of the people that like I'm like, man, if he would breed one of his dogs, I was like, I want a consideration, and like we're gonna talk hard about a pup from his litter.
Well, thank you.
It's basically right now it's kind of turned between you and my buddy Forrest down in Arkansas. His dog, I found out where it come from. He let it slip on a podcast. It come from actually one of the guys that at a Maker's call company is what it's called.
Okay.
That call company, like not Travis. Dang it, I will never think of his name. But he started a kennel down in Alabama actually. Training and I was like, I've told someone asked me the other day about pups, and I was like, dude, he's got one. He's got a yellow male. I was like, I'm done breeding. Both my dogs got fixed. Everyone who's got a pup for me, I don't have a complaint. I might have one complaint, but had a dog I sold. I don't care if the guy listens to this. I don't know what happened. The dog picked up a disease. He tried to act like he got it from me, and I'm like, dude, no way. I was like, if he come from me, I'd tell you. But the fact that like 5 other dogs don't have that disease, and one living in that place don't have the disease, dude, it didn't come from there. The chances of one puppy picking up a disease from a place that 6 dogs are living, I'm like, dude, no. From what I gathered, it picked up like my dad called it something. He raised dogs for a long time. Beaver fever or something.
That I've not heard about.
It basically like it sounded like it come from it had swam in some stagnant water, I'd say, and drank stagnant water and picked up like a fungus basically, and got it in its lungs and kind of killed it. And it sucks because it was going to be a hammer of a freaking pup. It really does suck. I watched that pup. I'd messed with that pup a little bit when it was like 5 weeks old and stuff, and it was a freaking hammer of a pup. It's one of those that you're like, you can't help it. I know the guy's mad. He paid money for a dog, and it sucks because, dude, I had high hopes for that dog was going to be a dog that kind of like set a standard of like, okay, because I know how hard that guy hunts, so it's like one of those things like, man, I know how hard this dog's going to get hunted. The standard's going to be there. I'm like, I can always be like, yeah, who cares how my dogs are? That guy's going to hunt that dog hard enough that I can be like, look at this one. Look what it's doing. But, I mean, out of 2 litters, it's the only one that's ever died outside of just having a C-section issue. On the second ones, we had a really big pup. which I mean, I did not want to do x-rays on my dog, and because I'm like, oh, we didn't do x-rays the first time. And I'm thank God we did x-rays, because I would have lost my mind if she died versus losing a pup kind of ordeal. And she had like a couple real big pups. And the one my buddy has, and I will take a video and send it to you this year of that thing when he gets around water, because he's like a meth head. When he finds a little bit of water, he is like, that dude is go-go juice on it. And it's pretty awesome. His name's Clyde, too, which even makes it funnier. He is like a little crackhead when he finds some water. But yeah, I mean, that's getting back to it. Yeah, I mean, you and that place down there is the two places I've talked with my wife. I'm like, hey, when it comes time, that's where I want to look at a pup. So I definitely want to stay on your radar about when a pup's
100%. Thank you. Yeah. Booger. Oh, my goodness. I talk about old dogs all the time. They pop into my mind because Elmer reminds me of Booger, but man, he's a really good-looking dog. He's not too big, not too little, muscled up, nice, got a really good look. And the thing is, he has an off switch in the house. Like he's as crazy as he can be, but he must sit down beside the sofa and just hang out with you. He has energy, but he's not like hyper energy in the house kind of thing. And Scoter's not too bad. She's just sitting here in the chair too. She's got a little bit of an off switch. She might run a little hotter than he does, but anyway, yeah, we'll see. Regardless, she's good health clearance wise. We need to see, what he is, and who knows? We may not. I want to keep a female, so I'm all about breeding her. Now, whether we breed her to Elmer or somebody else, I at the moment I can't say, but to breed her is definitely on our radar.
Yeah, my wife's a full female. We have one male dog ever so far, and it's a Yorkie. And it was a wedding gift from a family friend, and we didn't get a pick. They breed toy Yorkies, and we've both said we can't have another Yorkie because he has grown up with the labs, and he thinks he's a lab. He's clearly the size of their head, but like he thinks he's one, and it is. They all respect him. They don't they could throw him across the room, and we don't let him. But I mean, it's just one of those funny things, and he's the only boy dog we'll ever own because I mean. I don't know what it is, man. Girl dogs are just so nice. They have I feel like girl dogs have such a good off switch that it is amazing. A lot of them do.
Well, I think my experience has been they mature a little quicker.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, we're looking at we're pushing an hour 47, hour 48 here. Let's just talk real quick. You're pretty well booked. You got a couple days left this year. People can hit you up and kind of get those last couple days. If you're going to do a Christmas trip with your son or your wife or someone in the family, you're free, although you'd probably rather leave that one open. And Karen would probably appreciate you leaving that one open and staying home for the day. But I
always got the afternoons.
True. That is true. I got to find a way. I'll tell the wife for this. Be like, I don't hunt Christmas Day. I can always hunt Christmas afternoon.
Oh, I mean, she and I had the afternoons. I get up early and go hunt, so we always have the afternoons together.
No, I haven't tried that one yet. I get to go hunt Christmas Eve. This year, my company, real quick, gave me a floating holiday, and our season has always opened on the 23rd. We have a new owner of our company, and they gave us a floating holiday. We had to pick when it is. It didn't take me 2 seconds. They showed me how to log in. I set that floating holiday for December 23rd.
There you go.
And everybody's like, oh, you're picking the day for Christmas? Like, hell no, it's the opening day of duck season, buddy. I was like, and then they moved our season back 2 days, so I had to hurry up and put a vacation day in for the 22nd. So now I'm going to have the first, second, third day of hunting duck season open for the third split. But yeah, it's definitely one of those. I got to get with the father-in-law and trying to convince my dad he needs to come up here and hunt with you guys. It's nothing hard. I'm like, dude, you love going fishing and stuff. It's just big fishing boat on the ocean. But yeah, man,
32 feet.
That biggest duck boat in the world.
That's what Steve calls it. He's the largest duck boat in the world.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry. The world's largest duck boat. That's the way he words it.
Yeah. I mean, by God, it is. It is a big old boat. That's something that definitely I wouldn't say it's a bucket list hunt because I don't want to do it just once. I want to do it more than once. Come up and hunt with you. But I definitely think 2027, I've got to get that one on the books. I'd say you're already booking 2027 hunts if people are looking. Or when do you
26, 27, yes.
Yeah, 26, 27.
I think I've about 8 days booked there.
Okay, yeah. So 26, 20, 26, 27, you need to start booking if you want.
And like I said, I think there's about 8 days. Karen, she kind of keeps me dialed in on there, but I'm guessing there's 8 days booked.
Yeah, I need to get set on those days. I need to go ahead and do that this fall. I'll put it this way. I'm going to be hitting you up. I'll figure out who's coming with me whenever we get the dotted line signed.
There you go.
I got buddies that like I can probably be like, hey, we're going to see duck hunt, and they're going to be like, okay. I got 100% right now. Jake Lake, 100%. That dude, he has never been anywhere in his life until I started taking him on duck hunts, and now he's done been to Arkansas. It's like one of those things. Everybody's like, he don't know what to do leaving the state. I'm like, dude, well, he's about to learn. If he's going to duck hunt with me, we're going to travel.
He's seeing the world through duck hunting.
That's right, and can't beat it. He's going to Illinois this year with me, teal hunting. So he's going to get to see the world. But man, I can't thank you enough for anything. Hope you enjoy the bottle. I do believe you will.
There we go.
It's definitely one of those bottles that we've drank about the same amount right now. I've drank a little more, which I don't handle my alcohol as well. That's why I've gotten a little chatty. But yeah, it's definitely a good drinking bottle. We're going to give one away. I'll probably shoot that up tomorrow or something.
100%.
And man, I'm just excited. Thank you, Gadwall, for basically giving a bottle over to Jeff. And
thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I told him, I was like, hey, you need to send this guy a bottle. I was like, dude, he's a bourbon reviewer. And it's not that you're a bourbon reviewer, but I was like, it's Gadwall whiskey. It's got to go to the bourbon guy of the Gadwall of the waterfowl world. Let me say it the right way. The waterfowl world, you got to have a bourbon guy. And I'm sorry, it's you. Off the X, I love you guys, but Jeff wins right now as the bourbon guy.
It's just probably because I'm older than they are. That's all.
Yeah, it's 100%. You're older. I mean, but
just had a couple more years to drink. That's all.
Yeah, that's definitely it. But yeah, someone's going to win a bottle of Gadwall whiskey. I'm kind of excited to see who wins it.
I'm telling you, man, it is good. It's a good pour. It is an easy drinker for me. And like I said, the very first taste of it, I was like, Karen, I what was that taste? I think I tasted cherry. And she got on, looked up. So look up because it doesn't say it on the bottle. So look up the flavor profile. And she's like, right there, cherry. I said, yeah, that's what I tasted.
Yeah, and I mean, me and him talked about it. You can go back and listen to that because I'm awful at bourbons and knowing like all the stuff of it. I've just kind of learned over the years kind of what I like to drink, what I don't like to drink, kind of ordeal. Like I said, I got a Green River over there. I'll never buy again. The bottle looked cool. It was not for me. I'll say that. But Gadwall, I got 2 more bottles over there. I'll probably order another 6 eventually when I get down to 1. It's kind of one of those you just keep around.
I don't want to keep rambling, but I said really good things about Weller early on, right?
Yeah.
Weller Foolproof, the blue label. That's not for us. We don't enjoy it, but all the other ones we do. So
I've got to try Weller, and that was a cool thing. If you go back and listen to that podcast with him, he was all about other bourbons. Like it was kind of one of those things where like I thought we were going to talk Gadwall on the time. See, we talked about a lot of stuff, and he's right, man. Gadwall is just one of those like everyday drinkers, like you said. Open it up. You got buddies over. Like this weekend, we're doing a crawfish boil. I've got 3 to 4 of those buddies that drink bourbons. We'll crack it. I got mixers if they want mixers. I got a bunch of Yeti single shot cups. We're gonna drink it up. I've got a Yeti a flask that I'm halfway tempted to take on a trip opening day of duck season in December and kind of like toast, kind of like the end of the hunt because we kind of had a special one last year, and I don't know, man. It's one of those we had a special one and I didn't anticipate it. We pulled up in a hole, and guys hate mud motors. Go ahead and hate them. I don't blame you. They're loud. They're especially loud if guys drive them like idiots. But we was able to kind of set my mud motor and churn holes like an ice eater and open us up a hole that, we didn't kill any geese. We kind of thought all us fellas will shoot geese. And I think we ended the day with 12, 13 ducks. And in West Virginia, man, if you're shooting 12, 13 ducks, dude, you better hide them. That's all I got to say, because it is it's good. It's a good day. I mean, that's kind of the ordeal. I mean, a lot of guys like 12, 13 ducks. That's not very good for 6 guys. Well, for us, we were like overjoyed. I'll put it that way. We're taking photos. We're like high fiving. It's like one of those like, oh my gosh, days.
It's all relative.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
But man, I want to say thank you. Can you real quick, because I'm horrible at social media. I'll try to tag all your social media and everything. But can you real quick give a shout out to your social media so people can follow you for getting download the Hunt Proof app if you're going to train your dog. You can basically copy over his hunts. Hunt Proof. Nathan, you'll probably listen to this. It'd be very cool. I'm going to say this one out loud. If they could find a way that you could share a link so that people could copy your map. I'm probably saying this, and Nathan's going to get mad at me, and I'm going to see him in Illinois in September, and he's going to be like, dude, I hate you. But that'd be a very cool, you know what I mean? Like, if you could share a link and they copy your hunt over. I'm sorry, Nathan. I drank Gadwall, blame the Gadwall, and Jeff been on the call. But yeah, how about that? Yeah. Follow you so you can make sure you can get the basically the workouts you're doing. Like that. I know the Christmas tree drill is not yours, but you shared it, and you shared it in a manner that like I can figure it out and follow it. That was what was awesome.
Well, we can thank Matt Wilson, Maritime Dog Training, for that, because that was really his diagram. He drew it out for us. And I did ask him before. I said, "Hey man, you don't mind if I share that?" He's like, "No man, have at it,
dude." So real quick, what I loved about that was I'm very bad at teaching my dogs back, like their left back and right back, kind of too flat. Honestly, that teaches them kind of a little more of a swoop. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Swoop angle to kind of getting over in there, which I kind of liked.
As Matt would say, a little bit more bite to it. A little bit more bite to that angled back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I mean, that's where, like, yeah. I have to say my yellow dog I don't hunt because she freaking won't pick up a bird. It's kind of one of those things I could force fetch her and fix her, but she's kind of fat and out of shape now, which I had a guy on Instagram. I've drank too much bourbon now because I'm going to make this comment. He's like, how'd you let your dog get out of shape? I wanted to be like, dude, I'm sorry. I worked 50 hours a week and have 2 kids. What do you do for a job? Just like, if I could afford to send my dog somewhere to train, trust me, I know you don't train dogs, but if I could send my dogs to you, I would send you to, for sure. I'd send you the pup at least, be like, dude, fix her. Her issue right now is, and we'll end this, and you can give your social media after this story. Her issue is, as long as she's playing, water's not a factor. She don't care how deep it is. But when you go to send her on a stupid retrieve and she's over top of water, it's one of those things. I want to pick her by her tail and her collar and chuck her because she acts like there's a shark in the water and she's going to die, and she tiptoes in it. And it just, she doesn't break. She doesn't ruin the hunt. She doesn't whine. She doesn't bark. But it's one of those things where you're like, everyone else is happy and you as a trainer is losing your mind. You're like, dude, I want this dog burning water like it's Michael Phelps trying to win the gold medal. And I mean, it's one of those things where, like, and like I said with the older dog, I've got mad at her for something. Someone's like, well, why are you mad at her for? I'm like, because she could have did it better. I was like, what's your problem? I had her chase a goose over a hill in I'll tell the story real quick. Over the hill in a cornfield one time. And as she's doing it, I'm like, shit, you need to run out there and shoot that goose because it's about to clear the hill, get in a river. And I was like, it's, 400 or 500 yards across that river. She's not going to stop. Like, I've had to go pick her up in the boat before. She don't have I can't shock. I don't think you should be able to shock a dog off of a bird. My dad used to be able to shock a dog off of a track, training coon dogs and bear dogs. I can't shock. I've had to go pick her up because I'm like, hey, this dumb dog is going to die in the river because she won't quit swimming after a goose that's needs shot again. And then the problem is I get her in the boat. I got to fight to get her in the boat. And then once I get her in the boat, she's on the front of the boat. I got to shoot it and kill it the rest of the way. And then she wants to jump out and go get it. I'm like, dog, you're killing me. But that's kind of her mindset. And they were like, oh, she got it. Like, he got tangled up in the brush. And I was like, well, I'm glad. because if not, like I think one of us is going swimming for a dog. I mean, I can't stop her. Like, I mean, she has too much. It's one of those things where I accidentally got a dog that was meant for someone like you or someone like a trainer. It's just one of those things. Like, I feel bad because she doesn't deserve me. She deserves someone better like you. I mean, she's that good of a dog, and I mean, I'm not talking her up because of who she is. I'm talking her up because of how guys talk to me about her.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
She has issues, but a professional trainer, I'm not saying, because you're going to talk and say you're not a professional trainer, but someone of your quality that actually trains could fix a lot of her issues that can make her very, very good.
Take her to the next level.
Yes. Yeah, that's the right way to put it. But let's give a shout out to all the Pitboss stuff so they can follow, get online and get signed up. And I'll try to link that because I need to get signed up also for 2026.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the webpage is Pitboss, Pitboss Waterfowl.com. So pitbosswaterfowl.com, and pretty much all social media. If you do at Pitboss Waterfowl, you're going to find me. I'm pretty easy to find.
All right, man, that's perfect. Thank you again, Jeff. Jeff, man. I know we kind of sprung this on you in the middle of training. I know you got a lot going on this July. Luckily, you're one of the guys not going to Delta. Everybody else I was like talking to, they're like, well, we're going to be going to Delta. And I'm like, well, I need not that like, you're far from secondhand on the podcast list. You're kind of, honestly, I don't want to, I'm a bad podcast host, but I think you're the number one downloaded podcast so far that I've done.
Really?
So,
well, thank you. That's very kind.
I mean, you're someone that I think a lot of guys can learn from. Your knowledge of the waterfowl industry, your knowledge of just dogs, your knowledge of everything is kind of very important in this industry. And it's sad to say we're losing guys like you, but we've got some very good guys following up behind you guys that I don't think we're ready to let you guys go yet. But I think you guys had great mentors. Hopefully the guys behind you guys are going to have great mentors.
I definitely I think of Donald Hughes. I can't say I think of him daily, but I think of him weekly for sure.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much again, and I'll catch you on the flip side. We'll get this bottle gave away, and I hope you can enjoy the rest of that bottle you got, man. Share it with everybody you can.
Boom, there it is.
And I hope you enjoy it. And I mean, honestly, I don't know how to put it, man. It's not like we're not talking it up. It's actually a good bottle of bourbon. I've had a lot of guys ask me about it, and I'm like, you got a bad one. I was like, I'm not really affiliated with them. I'd love to be affiliated with them. I have my list of sponsors, and sadly, they are not on the list. I'm trying to make it that way. They've been nice enough to send me some apparel and some other free stuff, but one of these days, maybe I'd be affiliated with them. I mean, they're not a hunting brand. They just, unfortunately, he loved the gadwall duck, and I hate to break it to him, but the waterfowl industry, you throw the word gadwall out there, we're all going to follow. I mean, that's just kind of what we are. I mean, we see a duck, man, we're going to follow it and figure out what's going on.
100%.
All right, man. Jeff, you have a great night, and you and Karen have a great summer. I'll be in touch with you and stuff, bub. I'll make sure I get everything figured out, and we'll get on your books for 26, 27, man.
Pleasure being on here. Thank you very much. And Gadwall Whiskey, boom. Thinking of you, we are.
All right, man. Peace out. Have a good night.
Be safe. Thank you.
Oh, man. I don't even know what camera I'm on. I'm on A, but it looks weird. Oh, I need to go like this. And then I go A. There we go. Jeff Coates, thank you so much. Once again, check out Gadwall Whiskey. They're kind of the sponsor behind this podcast. They're not affiliated with this podcast yet. Hopefully they will be one of these days. I don't know how to put it. It's kind of like one of those things where like I drink bourbon every podcast, and to be honest, I've been drinking this one for a little while. First off, if you don't know, go back and listen to the podcast as we talked about this with the guys at Gadwall Whiskey. It's I can't think of how to put it. it's one of those things where it's a great whiskey. It's clean. It's crisp. I'm bad at it. Like Jeff does a better job explaining it, but we're set to kind of head on out. And all I gotta say is make sure you plan for a follow up and the media post is out at this time. Go back, follow it, share it. Make sure you listen to the podcast. We'll do this. We'll add a review, get you another entry into the giveaway. We're giving away a bottle of Gadwall, 100%. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. I've got it sitting over there. I will ship it to you. You will have a nice bottle to try. So make sure you check it out. Check out Pitboss Waterfowl. Check out basically all the sponsors. They're freaking awesome. They're like giving this podcast a chance. I don't know what to say, man. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Life Between the Volleys is brought to you by Duck Coffee. If your coffee's not the duck, it must suck. Rockin' leather boots. And I suck currently at doing these transitions because we're back on the FaceTime because I can't figure out how to change these things. So we're going to try this one more time. Y'all have a great night. Life Between the Volleys is brought to you by Rixie Outdoors, the number one dog stand on the market. Hunt proof, logger hunts. Dirty Duck Coffee. If your coffee's not the duck, it must suck. Rockin' leather boots, built for work and play. Free Cool Outdoors, protect your dog. Bluebird Waterfowl, changing the game of motion decoys. Winter Productions, let us tell your story.